Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust, episode 615. That's right, 615. We are in what was a very convenient, sort of convenient, if not for the falling sand from the ceiling, but very convenient pre-built hidey hole that we just happened to dig into here at the end of the episode. Of all the blocks and all the land here, I had to choose these two, and I did. And that means I didn't have to dig a hidey hole. But let's grab Wolfie. Let's make sure he gets out of the... Oops, dang it. Dang it! Placement of the blocks thanks to the offset from the terrain jitters and the floating points. But we, in spite of all that, are going to continue west here, like I said, in episode 615 for your Tuesday. October 18th, 2016. I had to look at the notepad to see what day it was. But I don't have to look at the notepad to remember that we're raising money for Child's Play charity. Hey, check out that transition. Over at farlandsorbust.com, we are raising money for Child's Play charity, helping get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. Currently at $41,645.14. Inching. Ooh, those. Speaking of inching, those pigs just inched into existence. Inching our way towards our $60,000 goal for Season 6 here, when we do raise $60,000. By the way, I saw a couple questions. Okay, maybe I saw one question in the comments of the last video asking, "Hey Kurt, when are you going to press F3 and tell us how far you've walked?" Not until we raise that $60,000, so get on over to farlandsorbust.com, give to a great cause, also get your questions in with your donations. There's a little comment box when you donate. You can enter a question that I will see and answer, add to the list and answer in a future episode of Farlands or Bust here. A very immediately future episode, because we're running out of questions here. So when you add them right now, they will be near the top of the list. They'll be near the top of the list. Of course, I do a little bit of extracurricular ordering of myself. Not so much chronological ordering of these questions. I more or less organize them based on topic, so I can have some rather coherent themes of all the questions I answer. Usually. Sometimes not. Wolfie seems to think so. But yeah, farlandsorbust.com is where you can do that, and that's also where you can learn everything else you want to know about Farlands or Bust, or Farlands and Bust, and Kurt J. Mac even. What sort of stuff do I use to record these episodes? My computers? What sort of funds we raised for Child's Play charity in previous seasons, as well as what's up with the jitteriness, what's up with me not pressing F3, and all that trivial jazz. In case you're new to the series, and if you are, thank you. I hope you stick around. Maybe you'll subscribe to the channel. Maybe you'll donate to Child's Play charity. Maybe. We will see indeed. But yeah, we are continuing on since the last episode. Had some space launches happen. On Sunday, I tweeted out and then watched the launch of a Chinese spacecraft. It was a crewed spacecraft, actually, 2 astronauts on board. I've forgotten the name of the craft already, but they are up and safe and in space. So now there are 5 people in space. There's a website, howmanypeopleareinspaceriightnow.com, I think is what it is. And it'll just give you a number of how many people are in space right now. So right now it's 5, because we have the 2 Chinese astronauts, as well as the 3 on the International Space Station. I believe at the end of the week, that number will go up to 8, because 3 more will be launching out of Russia and with the Soyuz to the International Space Station. So a good number. I remember when that number would be like 16, when there was like a space shuttle at the space station. But I think that was once. What was the most people that were in space? I think it probably was one of those times where there were 3 on board the Chinese space station, 3 on board the International Space Station, plus 7 from a docked space shuttle. So 13. I swear there was something like 16 at some point. Maybe it was also... Maybe that was more or less when Maybe there were 6 on the space station, 7 servicing the Hubble, and then simultaneously 3 more in the in the Chinese station. Am I wrong? Could I be wrong? There was the world record for most people in space, and it was something like, it might have been 13. Maybe it was maybe it was something disappointing, like 12 or 13, or maybe it was like 16 or 17. I swear it was one of the higher 16s or 17s or something like that. But regardless, that's not happening anytime too soon right now, since we don't have that many stations or spacecraft available to be simultaneously flying. But that's alright, that was a cool launch to watch regardless. And then, of course, today, it was due Sunday, but today, Monday, when I'm recording this, you're watching this on Tuesday if you watch it when it releases. On Monday, return to flight for the Antares, the orbital ATK Antares rocket, carrying the Cygnus spacecraft, which is the International Space Station resupply craft of that company. A lot smaller, the smallest of the resupply craft. But this one going to the International Space Station. Uncrewed, by the way, obviously. But this was the one that famously, 2 years ago, exploded seconds off the launch pad in quite dramatic fashion, actually. Look at this mountain. Wow, this is a big old mountain. I mean, it's just a big old bear mountain as well. There's bears. There's bears everywhere. No. I mean, it has no grass or anything. It's got this really neat sand situation, this sand dune, this drift, if you will. But then it, in and of itself, is, I guess, technically in one of those basin biomes that I am so fond of. But then you got this nice flat wall. Whoa! Whoa! All right, Kurt, let's start watching our steps a little bit, shall we? Shall we? But yeah, that Cygnus spacecraft took off, and it was without issue, thankfully. And an interesting one. We actually watched it live on one of my live streams over on twitch.tv/KurtJMac. Happened to be wrapping up a stream where I stopped by, played some Minecraft Bingo, but then I stopped by the patron server. Just so happened to be T-minus 10 minutes to the launch, so I'm like, hey, let's switch over to that, watch that together, and then end the stream. So that worked out alright. That worked out alright indeed. Ooh, these clouds almost killed me, because I'm like, this is fine stuff to walk on. No. This is not fine stuff to walk on. Careful, Wolfie. Careful, Wolfie. Alright, perhaps this was fun to explore. Holy moly. But maybe we should go back down the way we came up, huh? Is that a good idea, Wolfie? Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that as a yes. But yeah, it was also really cool. If you missed it, you could probably try to fast forward through it till the end of the VOD. Careful, of Monday's live stream. But I said, alright, I guess we'll take this. I stopped by the patron server. Careful, Wolfie! And the fine patrons, and if you are a patron and you have access to the Minecraft server, log on and go to town. Go to town! No, I mean, like, go to the actual main town. And there's a new Farlands or Bust museum where they recreated a lot of the places in here, Farlands or Bust, like the original, to stunning detail, the original spawn cabin. They even got all the items in the chest right. To each of the monuments, each of the F3 monuments. I forgot how tall the 699492 monument was that we built as part of the structure, or the surrounding. There was already a pre-existing spire that I'm like, that spire is where I'm going to be pressing F3. And just like if we were ending a Flobathon right now, I'd be like, that mountain right there is where I'm pressing F3. And then, of course, they rebuilt Kavalavi! They rebuilt the Juno spacecraft from the Mindcrack server. Even little things like the very famous hanging cabin of when we turned around and walked east for a little bit, which we will not discuss much further. These were dark times. These were dark times in Farlands of Bustitude. We were hurting for donations to Child's Play charity, grasping at straws. But we survived, and we continue on, and we continue now west, as we continue to do. Indeed to do. You may also notice, by the way, something I revealed in that live stream on Monday. voice might sound slightly different. Slightly different. I am indeed using a new microphone headset scenario here. I still have the other microphone, the Rode Procaster, but I'm trying out this Audio-Technica broadcast headset. So it's a microphone built into headphones. A little bit more freeing on the movement. Specifically, I wanted it specifically more so for racing games, which I've done so many of recently. Specifically sim games that require the wheel and pedal setup. It's just a little bit easier not to also then have to worry about, if you've watched my like dirt rally videos or anything, whoops, punch the microphone. That's because the microphone has to be in my face, and the wheel is also kind of in my face, so it's a little bit difficult to avoid contact there, but also just a little bit easier, a little bit of a different, little bit kind of tweaking the audio voices. Did a little bit of that on stream, so hopefully it sounds alright and isn't too different. Well, I'll get used to it and carry on, as I will go to sleep right now, and we'll carry on in the morning. And a new microphone-ness. A new microphone-ness indeed. How do I sound, Wolfie? Nope, nothing? Alright. How about, whoops, how about I give you one more of these? Yo, you, with the glasses. There we go. And then we'll actually, I noticed some sheep. We need a little bit more wool. We can make it through this episode, but I don't want to forget. We often forget of items, and then we are out of them when we least expect it. I will expect it! Ooh, speaking of expecting things, let's not expect to jump down there, shall we? So yeah, that was really neat on the Patreon server to see. A really cool community that once again, it's one of those things that's just kind of, I wouldn't say it's an afterthought, but something I didn't expect is like, oh, I'm going to make a Minecraft fan server for patrons. And, you know, oh, geez, I hope it just doesn't, like, die and nobody plays on it, or I hope it just isn't, like, a bunch of people who don't know what to do, or they don't, you know, all just a bunch of individuals. But no, they've created quite their community without me there, which is great, because it's very hands-off for me, and I get to concentrate a bit more, obviously. Not so much on administering a server, which isn't necessarily, I don't want to be a server admin. That's not the job I applied for. But also it just kind of runs itself, and they've really created their own sort of ecosystem and, like I said, community and little friendships amongst themselves, which is really great. And of course, they allow me to pop in from time to time, which is very nice of them. Careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie. No! No, I want this workbench. We left the other workbench behind. We're not going back for it. Forget about it. Alright, let's carry on. And yeah, if you want to know about the Patreon thing, that's patreon.com/kurtjmac. Link's always in the video description. It's not something I particularly push too much, but it is very important to me for, you know, necessitating the continuation of doing streams and YouTube videos and all that stuff. So I appreciate everybody over there at any level of support. Much appreciated indeed. But regardless, let's talk about the support for Child's Play charity and those fantabulous donors who ask these following questions. For example, an anonymous donor asks, have you ever been locked out of your house? I don't believe I've ever been locked out of my house. I've been locked out of my car, I think once. I'm very happy to have said that that's only been once that I've been locked out of my car. And that was a long time ago. It was my first car. The old 1991 Cavalier that I had. I think it was a 91. I don't remember what I was doing. I was going to a Circuit City or something, and I was probably making a return or something, so I turned off the car and ran into Wolfie. I turned off the car, maybe put the keys down on the passenger seat, and then rustled about to pick up my receipt and whatever package I was returning, and then locked the door and walked away. And upon returning, whoops, you cannot get back inside your car. So I had to go find a payphone. That's right, a payphone. This was before cell phones were things. I'm so old. I think I had to call, it was during the day as well, so like parents were working or whatever. So I had to try to find somebody who could get home to get me spare keys I had at home so that I could get into the car. Wasn't as big of a disaster as one would think. But ever since then, ever since you lock your cars in your keys... Wait, strike that, reverse it. You lock your keys in your car, you tend to be a little bit more studious about making sure you have them and where they're at. I do the pat. If anybody knows me in person or has seen me in person, you know that I very anxiously and frequently do the pat down, the self pat down, where I check both my front pockets, of course now for my phone, my keys in the other pocket, and then the back pocket for the wallet, just to make sure I'm not standing up and walking away or making sure I haven't been pickpocketed or something. I do that quite frequently when out in public, and I'm sure it seems like a very nervous tick, but it's one of those reassuring ticks that make sure that I have all of my faculties about me with all the things that I need for roaming these dangerous streets of planet Earth. So yeah, but no, I don't believe I've ever been locked out of my house. I'm trying to think. I think like I've had to help other people break into their houses because they've been locked out, but I don't believe any of my own personal houses have I ever been locked out of. I'm pretty sure that's something I would have remembered. Yeah, like there might have been a situation that is where I had to like pop out somebody's window screen to have them climb through to like let us in or something like that, like a friend or something like that in high school or whatever. But I'm not remembering anything regarding myself being locked out or anything like that. So A+, Kurt, A+ for your not getting locked out-itude. That's that. Now that's an achievement. That's a Steam achievement right there. Jinglestog, aka the Race Stewards. A couple episodes ago, we talked about spoilers. Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts. Luke, I am your father. Jinglestog would also like to know how I feel about spoilers, but not those kind of spoilers, in the sense of spoilers and wings on cars. Are you a fan? At what point does a spoiler wing on a car get gaudy, in your opinion? Well, probably when they become non-functional. I mean, the 2004 Cavalier that I have has a spoiler. It is the kind of spoiler that I prefer. I don't like wings so much, specifically on street cars. They don't make any sense whatsoever. On race cars, yes, they make sense. But wings on street cars, no. No. You're not going to be getting up to speeds or into scenarios where airflow over a wing is going to cause any sort of positive improvement to your handling or performance on the roads of America, public roads, where you're just trying to go pick up somebody from the airport or whatever. This one was actually... Is that the difference? Like a spoiler is more just a flap. Like what's on the backs of the NASCAR cars. That's a spoiler. That's what the Cavalier has, is just a lip. It's just like a lip. Okay, and that makes... Sure, it's a Cavalier. But that improves the looks a little bit. It certainly is a lot sharper of a look, to my personal opinion. The one I had had the Sport Appearance package, so came with a spoiler. The Subaru XV Crosstrek also has a spoiler, but it's a very subtle extension of the roof lid, really, that then blends into the central brake light. There is an additional... I don't like it so much because there's an additional spoiler add-on that you can get with like the Sport Appearance package, or you can pay whatever to get it extra. That literally is just bolted on top of that already existing spoiler. It makes it look kind of cool and more sporty, but I don't like the fact that it's just glued to the top, it seems. I'm sure it's screwed in or whatever, but I don't like that look so much as a more kind of built-in sleek look, I suppose. But I understand why they would do that, just so that they could just slap it on, as opposed to completely rebuilding the entire rear end of the vehicle to match. So yeah, I mean, those types of spoilers I'm alright with. Just like I didn't like, and a lot of people didn't like in NASCAR, the car of tomorrow. They went from a spoiler to a wing. Made it look a lot more fast and furious-y, and they quickly abandoned that, didn't they? So yeah, I mean, yeah, certainly there are the jokes about the Fast and Furious. Those young whippersnappers with their giant wings that don't match the Honda Civic that they're driving or whatever, and surely is not going to make a difference at all in their day-to-day driving as they do. But yeah, I don't much care for those. I will admit that the little marketing scheme that is the mechanical, like hydraulic wings that are like on the Jaguar F-Type or the newer Audi TTs, or I think Porsches have them and things like that. The ones that like extend and flap up and like depending on what speed you're going at, those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool. Just from like a nerdy, like, hey, that's awesome. It's a robot. My car's transforming into a race car with its additional spoiler that pops up. That's cool. I'll admit to falling victim to that marketing ploy. I'll take it. But otherwise, no. It's not necessarily something I particularly look to add to my vehicles, nor a feature that is a must-have or anything like that on a vehicle I would purchase. But yeah, let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. And a spoiler alertsness. We've had some very mountainous views this episode. Nice mountains you got there. This one on the left is a little bit more of a gradual one. Very nice. Very nice. Well done, Minecraft. Well done, random terrain generation. Karen asks, I've noticed a number of auto-generated UK car license plates which start with FL08, which looks like Flob if you type it out. I smile every time I spot one, and it got me thinking, what are your thoughts on custom license plates? I was thinking of Forza Horizon 3. Do you have one? Do you want one? Keep heading west. I do not have one. Oh, whoa, whoa, that guy shot straight up. Wolfie, get back here. That's probably a spider spawner? But there also happens to be a skeleton down there. Hold on. This requires some investigation. Ooh. I think it might just be a big old open room where a bunch of stuff has spawned, actually. That, I think, is probably the most accurate. Yeah, I think that's the accurate. Alright, never mind. Wolfie, let's continue on. 'Tis a silly place. Woo! 'Tis a very silly place. Wolfie almost fell in with them. I don't have any. I just took what was given to me. Not for my, like, daily drivers. I wouldn't get one. They're, like, expensive, first of all. But yeah, no, I don't have any vanity plates or anything like that. I understand them, I guess. To me, it's almost like a tattoo. I'd take too long of a time trying to figure out, ooh, what's the most clever thing I could choose to be stuck with or whatever. But I could see if eventually I am fortunate enough to achieve my fun car, quote-unquote, aspirations, trying to get a vanity plate for one of those. Maybe. I'm not sure. Really, again, not an essential part of the vehicle I wish to drive, much like spoilers. or anything like that. Ooh, look at this. It's a dude. It's Tree Dude. He's telling us to go north, everybody. Or south, actually. South. He's telling us to go south. Do we listen to him? Or should we go east, Mr. Tree Man? Should we go east again? Or south? He's telling us to go south. Oh, that's pretty hilarious. I know what my thumbnail's gonna be. Boop. Thank you for your guidance, oh giant tree head man. It is much appreciated, and we shall heed your input and head in this direction, if not just for a little bit, maybe. Maybe he was just warning us, don't go that way, go around this way, as Wolfie spawns in front of us. Oh, there we go. Tree Man, showing the way, and Farlands are bust. Tree Man! Da-na-na-na-na-na, Farlands are bust. Da-da, Tree Man! Sorry. Oh, Wolfie! Wolfie! Breaking our boat as we're in a boat. Alright, I should stop trying those things right now, maybe. Alright, well, Tree Man, you took us over into a place that has a bunch of icebergs in it. It's not really passable by boat, but I guess we'll go this way. Ooh, maybe he was pointing us to this. As if something amazing in this cave. Something... Ooh, as he drops down. No? Nothing amazing? Tree Man? Tree Man has let us down. This is a dead end, I think. Tree Man! He let us down. We shouldn't have listened to Tree Man! Oh, man. It's another late night recording of Farlands or Bust, by the way. If you saw that screen cap timestamp, 9 p.m. here, recording. Not too late, but again, like I said, I had to do some streaming. I had to. I was forced. It's under contract. No, not really. What was I gonna answer? Oh yeah, the vanity plates. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's always kind of interesting when you're behind somebody with vanity plates trying to sound it out or figure it out to see how clever they were at, like, getting certain numbers or words to sound like other numbers or words to say something clever or whatever. Yeah, I don't really know anybody who went out of their way to get vanity plates. It's mostly for me the money. It's like, I don't know what it is to license a car or whatever, but it's like another $100 or so on top of that to get a vanity plate if you want it, I think. And then you have to like sit around and wait for it on a temporary tag as opposed to just picking up whatever random one they have there at the DMV. It's a laziness and convenience. Sort of scenario in my personal opinion. But yeah, that was a new one. That was a new question. Thank you very much, Karen. My. This is ooh, there's a lot of tubes around here. Tubes. Tree Man set us to the land of tubes. Yeah, this person just said signed, comma, my. So either your name is my, or the word you were trying to say after my got cut off. So I'm going to call you my. My asks, has anything in your coffee brewing changed? What beans have you been drinking lately? I'm currently having a cup of Canada's Kicking Horse coffee. Signed, my. Not much has changed since my last update. I, as you all know, started drinking coffee with a French press. Right to the top, right to the source of things. Then I changed to a Chemex. I broke the Chemex because they're very, very fragile. And then I got a Hario pour over, one of the white funnels, the ceramic funnels that you put on top of either a mug or another vessel to contain your coffee. And then I recently went to an all-in-one. There's this all-in-one Hario brewer that looks a lot like a Chemex, except it accepts the Hario kind of top and stuff. So yeah, nothing has really changed about that. I'm still grinding my own beans. I'm still doing that. What sort of beans? I switch it up. Much like when I drank more whiskey than I currently do, I wouldn't just like get one bottle every time or one brand or anything like that. I switch it up to get different flavors. tried out, obviously you all know Intelligentsia, tried out Stumptown is really good out of Portland. There's even a few more from Chicago that are quite decent as well. Their names escape me at the moment. I tried out locally. There is Cartel Coffee here in Phoenix. Is kind of the Intelligentsia of Phoenix. There's also one called Press, or is that from Chicago? See, I'm even forgetting where all these are from. Press Coffee, I think, was one. One that turned out to be pretty good that I kind of liked was a much smaller, what are they called? Roaster? Bergie's Coffee was pretty good. A little bit of a smaller setup, like I said, a little bit of a less selection because of that, but that's all right. I'd like to try out different things. I actually recently ran out of my last bag of coffee, and I had to pick up some from the grocery store, so I'm not really rolling on the finest of beans right now. But I'm trying to decide. Well, maybe, hey, help me decide. If you in the comments below want to suggest, like if you want to get as specific as, say, from Intelligentsia, get this specific bean because it's great, or wherever. Maybe leave me a suggestion. Maybe I'll order a bag and try it out if it's not too unreasonable, and then we'll go from there. Yes. Suggest some beans for Kurt. Gimme yo beans. This is the new segment, Gimme yo beans, on Farlands or Bust. Give it the beans. There we go. That's even better. Oh man. Yeah, let me know, because the store-bought coffee is doing all right. I mean, the way I brew it, it certainly tastes a lot better than, say, like hotel coffee or something, but it's still not my greatest of adventures in the world of brewing coffee, and looking to find something else. So yeah, leave me some suggestions. Leave me some suggestions in the comments below. Comments have really died lately, so maybe we can reinvigorate them with a little bit of question and answer. This time, you guys answer my cues in the comments below. I'm trying to let's try to make it to the other side of this hill here, and we'll make the hidey hole on the top or the side, or oh, well, I guess it's gonna be the top because there really isn't much of a side. All right, here we go. Right. Oh, I don't have a torch. That's right. I used them in that place that turned out to not be a place. All right. Hey, Wolfie, have a seat. Well done. And then this will indeed wrap up our episode 615 of Farlands or Bust. That'll also wrap up that shovel, I guess. Good thing I made 3 swords instead, you nugget. Alright, we'll have to make a new shovel here. But yeah, this will wrap up episode 615 of the series. Let me remind you once again to go to farlandsorbust.com if you want to, say, learn some more about the series, but also donate to Child's Play charity. We're not pressing that F3 until we raise that $60,000 for Child's Play charity. Of course, more and more importantly, you get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. That is what Child's Play charity does. Woof, Wolfie agrees. Wolfie, that has the Wolfie seal of approval, as it always has. Let's make an iron shovel. All my tools are about to break. But you know what? I'm already a bit over-encumbered with all these swords I'm carrying. Let's make some more torches. You know what? Hope I don't need coal for anything except torches, because we just use it all. And let's reclaim our workbench. And thank everybody for sticking around, for watching the show. Let all your friends know if it's something you enjoy. Spread it around. There's this crazy person who sings to the different structures in Minecraft and has been walking to the Farlands for 5.5 years in Minecraft Beta 173, and he won a Guinness World Record for it. Woo! Woo! Is that it? Woo? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Tree Man.